Hi, I'm Will and I run medievalarrows.co.uk and I'm a medieval fletcher and arrowsmith specialising in early to late medieval arrows. And I'm here today at the ATC for their virtual prehistory weekend, and we're going to be looking at a couple of these different arrows, how they're made, where they're from, and how you can learn how to make them yourself. So today we've got a very wide range of arrows. We've got a very early medieval arrow, which is this Valsgard or Wengel period arrow, and this late Tudor military arrow. And looking at the early ones first, you can see that they're quite narrow in diameter. They're about 9mm thick, the arrow shafts themselves. And the heads are very narrow. They're for chainmail or they're for hunting because plate armor wasn't in use at that time. At the fletching end, we've got swan feathers, and they're bound with hemp into a pine pitch glue made of charcoal, beeswax, and pine resin. And they're a very distinct cut, these fletchings. They're based off the Giavona finds. And you can learn how to make these arrows from scratch using authentic materials in one of my workshop courses, as well as one of these, which is a very late medieval or Tudor arrow. And when you compare the two, you can see just how different they are. We've got a very thick 1/2 inch diameter shaft here compared to this smaller one. Very heavy iron or steel bodkin designed purely for plate penetration. And you can also see the difference in the fletchings. They're much longer, and this lovely green glue is distinct from that time period. This is made of copper verdigris, beeswax and tallow, and that's bound with silk, and these long swan fletchings, and this horn insert at the end as well, in comparison to this kind of bulbous strengthened knock because the bows weren't as powerful back then. So these arrows, you can learn how to make these at the courses that we're going to be running at the ATC here. You get to stay the night in the longhouse, you can learn to forge your own heads, and we're going to show you how to do that later on. You get to learn how to make the arrows, and you take them home with you as well once you've completed the course. So come along, check it out, and learn how to make these amazing arrows from historical finds. We're going to look at these arrowheads now, these tanged hunting heads. We're going to make one of these in our little charcoal forge. I'll talk you through how I'm doing it as I go. And now we've necked it up in that area. I'm going to flatten that down now and make it into the nice wide hunting blade that we're familiar with. And that neck just gives me a nice transition to where the tang will start. Okay, so there's our bladed area itself with this nice necked in area here. Now we're going to mark and cut off the tang area. So there, almost getting to the point now of finishing it up. That only trimming up a little bit now and then we're